Before we get into the video, if you guys would like to join a group of like-minded individuals, people who are serious about making money in the short term and in the long term, then join the private group. Now the results do speak for itself. In the last 2 years, we've made hundreds and hundreds of X's on long-term and short-term investments, and it will continue to do so in the bull run. But I also have a free Telegram group. All the links are in the description. Now, the first project on the list is TARS AI. Now, for those of you who don't know what this project does, it aims to be the AI infrastructure on the Solana chain, and it is backed by the Solana Foundation. Now, what it ultimately does is it trains AI models, monetizes data, and gives access to powerful GPUs. But the only concerning thing about this project is the fact that it is fairly new. It only launched this year. So all the early investors for this project are up huge amounts. If you can go over here, you guys can see that the early investors are up over 10x. This is just the IDOs. So we can only imagine, what the private guys are up at least 15x. And these guys are getting their tokens every single day. And this is why the price has tanked in the short term. If you come down here, you guys can see that these guys are getting their tokens pretty much every single day. Yeah, they get it linear for the next, these guys are getting it for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever it is. They get the tokens every single day. Now, the good thing is these guys have some decent exchanges, Mexi, Gate, Bybit. They got the Radi, they get, the DEXs on the Solana chain. But as an overall project, right now, I wouldn't say is the best time to invest because the market is dead. No one's rushing to buy this project. It will most likely fall down to around these regions, around over here. And then this would be a good time to start accumulating. Right now, I just don't think it's worth. But overall, this is a very, very good project that will do really well because the Solana ETFs have been applied. And that just means when it gets approved, all the Solana ecosystem will perform really well in the bull run. Now, the next project on the list is Alt. Alt is one of my favorite AI projects. I was the first YouTuber to talk about this project. It is one of the better ones in the AI sphere. This is because, these guys are being utilized by multiple institutions, the likes of Dow Technologies, Seagate, Tencent Cloud, Lenovo Image. We've got a bunch of different institutions that are in line with this project. For example, they provide storage for the entire BNB chain. And we've got the likes of Google, Microsoft, providing grants for the development of the project. They got a grant from Microsoft recently, which gave them access to OpenAI. This means that they can improve the AI agents that they currently have, which are already really impressive because if you go on their website, Dow Technologies and Lenovo, AppsCo, these guys use the AI agents. And they said that, the cost has reduced by 90%, calls reduced by 80%, and their overall satisfaction is 95%. This is why these guys are earning $12 million annually profits. And they spend 30% of their profits every quarter buying back the project. This is why the price has, held like a stable coin pretty much for the past month, even though Bitcoin has gone down significantly. This is because they spend 600K buying back the projects and they do regular burns. They've already burnt 3.5% of the circular in supply. A market cap of 60 million is a no-brainer for this project. I can see this performing really well. And I can see these guys getting multiple tier 1 exchange listings just based on the fact that they earn so much money annually from their products. AGI is one of the best AI projects in the crypto space. This is because they've got massive backers, and grants from the likes of Google, Microsoft, and Nvidia. And apart from this, one of the most bullish aspects of this project recently that they've done was the fact that the team, locked up their tokens for an extra 2.5 years. This shows that they are here for the long term. Now, the current market cap of this project is 130 million. And long term, this is a project that can perform really well. They're the ones that have an AI agent called Lucy. And what Lucy ultimately does is, apart from having the normal use cases of an AI agent, it also has a DEX built within it. So, for example, if you are new to crypto, you don't know how to use a DEX, PancakeSwap, Uniswap. Ultimately, you can tell Lucy to buy you 100 USDT worth of AGI, and it will carry out that transaction for you without you having to do anything. This is why this is so important because, when retail comes into crypto and they don't know how to buy on a DEX, they can always use Lucy. And this is one of those projects that has been rumored to get on Binance. When Binance had a voting poll earlier this year on what projects to be listed next, AGI and AI Tech did win that vote. So we could potentially see these two on Binance at some point. And they've got more than enough money funding to pay for these tier 1 exchange listings and potentially more. This is why I'm so bullish on this project. They also have a gaming side, which they're more focused on AI at the moment. But next year, they said they're going to be releasing some games as well. So overall, AI and gaming, and they have an actual product out, tier 1 exchange listing possibilities. This project can perform really well. That is why I'm bullish on it. This is a project that my private group made 4-2x on. I was actually one of the first YouTubers to ever talk about this project or even mention it in my private group. We were talking about this back in November times when it was ultimately at the bottom. AI Tech is currently facing some FUD because their data center, was originally timed to be released in June, July times. But obviously right now they haven't had a data center built yet. They are building it. It is in process. They're showing plenty of evidence. Now people are mad because it's not completed yet, but even if it's completed now, it's not really gonna make a difference realistically, because as long as it's done by the end of the year, then we should be fine, because the market is dead now. Even if the data center is built, ultimately it's not going to really do nothing to the price action anyways. But as a long-term hold, once the data center is completed, which they are already building, what more can they say about this project? It's one of the best GPU AI marketplaces in the crypto space. It covers both narratives, AI and deepin. It's more deepin though, but this solves a real problem. Europe currently outsources 75% of the GPU CPUs and can only insource 25%. And these guys are trying to tackle that problem. And because these guys have European government backings, once the data center is live, they will have plenty of customers. They will be used, you'll be utilized. This is why I'm so bullish on this project. And they've got plenty of funding. These guys' marketing is top level. If you open CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, I think, whichever it is, you guys can see AI Tech everywhere on the banners. These guys do plenty of marketing. They've got plenty of fundings. These guys are on like 30 different exchanges. And they're going to get a couple of tier 1 exchange listings as well. The team's doxed, which is, most deepin projects not even doxed. This stands out above most other deepin projects and solves a real problem. This is why I'm so bullish on this project. And I think it will continue to perform at these prices. I think is a steal. There's only a 1x dilution. But with the price action, with the listings, with all the data center, once everything goes live, this is going to go parabolic in my opinion. Nuclei, is a layer 1 AI project that aims to solve the data problem within AI. So for example, whenever you're using your PC or your phone or whatever it is, that most of that data that we use, doesn't even get used up. It gets sent out. It just gets wasted. And Nuclei is basically aiming to solve this problem. Now, the only concerning thing about this project is the fact that the vesting schedule is quite harsh. I would only buy this project at seed prices. That is the only time it would be worth for me. It's currently very close. I think the early investors are up around 3x right now. Some of them are up around 1.5x. Some of them are up even less than that. But the seed guys are ultimately up about 3x. So until this goes lower, it's not really worth the investment just because the vesting schedule is so harsh. If you don't get in at the same price as them, then you're just going to become their bag holder as they dump on you every single day because the token unlocks are linear. Now, in terms of exchanges, these guys are not too bad. They don't have the best of exchanges, but they got Gate, Mexi, and Uniswap. And I can see them getting more exchanges because there's a bunch of Web 2s, Web 3 companies that's actually utilizing Nuclei. For example, IONET, which is a big Web 3 project. But the market cap is only 6.6 million. So it's a tiny market cap. This one's, you don't put your whole life savings into it, but you put a small percentage of your portfolio into this project. And when the AI narrative kicks off, it will perform really well, in my opinion, because the likes of Alex Becker is going to shield it. He's already shielded it initially at the top. Well, when he first launched, done like a 6-7x. And since then, because the vesting is so harsh, I told people not to grab this just based on the vesting schedule. And since then, it's dumped at least, let me check how much it's dumped. 81% since it's come out. So I just wouldn't touch it now until it gets closer to seed prices. But as a project, it's a good project. Now, Chirply it's sitting at 2.5 million market cap. And what it basically is it aims to market and help nano and micro influencers kind of market themselves. It is very niche, AI marketing. However, it is one that can perform really well, only because they managed to get a massive grant from Binance Labs. And this is enough to get multiple tier one exchange listings, as well as develop the project. Now, these guys have had a bunch of partnerships, in February. And in terms of marketing, they have marketed themselves really, really well. And my private group made around an 8 to 20x on this, depending on when you brought it. But the recent time, he did about an 8x. Now, at the same time as this, these guys are, the team behind it is very capable. They've got some very, very good news coming very, very soon. I can't disclose what it is, but it is very, very bullish. And as well as this, the market, like I said, the marketing is really good. The team is very good. They've got some good backers, the likes of Binance Labs. They've just did a partnership with Warner Brothers and Sony Music. So that's quite massive. These are big institutions that are getting behind this project. They got a new platform coming out. They've already done one. They've released one platform, but there's going to be an updated version coming out very soon as well. And overall, the way they market themselves, the way the team is capable, the amount of tier one exchange listings that these guys can get, I think this can perform really, really well in the bull run. Now, the final project on the list is Sensei. For those of you that don't know what Sensei does, it aims to implement digital immortality through crypto. And the way they do this is by you creating a replica of yourself that can ultimately live on even after you pass away. So your grandkids can interact with it, your future family members can interact with it, and they can ultimately talk to your replica, and your replica will give realistic answers. So it's not just chat GPT where they'll just give you basic answers. They're implementing a different technology like uncensored LLMs. So you can ultimately talk, just like how you would talk right now. That way is more realistic. As well as this, they've got, companies such as Fetch AI, AGIX, Ocean Protocol that is backing them and working with them. So that in itself is bullish. If ASI, the new combo, if they was to ever give this project a shout out during the bull run, that in itself can go parabolic. The team is Docs. The team is from Goldman Sachs, Gameloft. So they've got quite a lot of experience. They're also part of Oxford University's AI Society, which is quite bullish. And, in terms of returns, for the fact that it's a micro cap, $1.5 and $1.6 million in market cap, and the vesting schedule is really good. There's one big unlock in August. And after that is only a 1x dilution towards the end of the bull run. So I can see this performing really well, in this upcoming bull run, because it hasn't experienced a bull run yet. This is why I can see this performing really well.